Hey, good morning. MNC News Time is 7:11. This is Michiana's Morning News. This segment is powered by South Bend Warehousing. Store your cars, RVs, boats, and motorcycles and avoid bad weather this winter. Visit sbwd.com. And, of course, I'm your host, Casey Hendrickson. Joining us in studio, a new congressional representative for CD2, Jackie Walorski. Congratulations,
All right. Good
Jackie.
to see you guys this morning. Good to see you, Casey.
It's been a while since we've been able to actually have this powwow.
I know. I missed it. I missed seeing you guys.
Yeah, but now the FCC can kiss my grits, so we're good to go.
It's a different day.
Yeah, it is. But here's the thing. I was looking at the Real Clear Politics average the morning of, when the polls were opening. It had you up 9.5. It ended up being a lot closer than that, less than 2 percentage points. Tell us a little bit about the emotions, obviously, going through this, because we had Carl Stutzman out at your headquarters, and guys got quiet there for quite a while, and we actually called Carl while he was there, and we're like, hey, Carl, you need to tell him that she's up now. And the moment it flipped, and he's like, well, actually, we haven't heard that yet. I said, well, watch the screen. It's about ready to happen. And sure enough, it did, and we were able to get all of your supporters there just going berserk.
They were going
must have been a
crazy.
heck of a moment for you.
It was a late night, but I think that when you talk about the numbers being close, I think it's very reflective of where the district is, where the country is, and kind of symptomatic of what we've been up to for the last 18 months, which is, Americans are, and Hoosiers, are very skeptical about an election and, wanting to make sure that the person they send to Washington in this seat is going to do what they promised, keep their word, and work with Republicans and Democrats. And now that we have the exact same makeup at the federal level, I'm laser focused on doing exactly what we said we would do, which is to work with whoever will work for jobs in the state of Indiana. And we've proved in Indiana that we have a model that works, and we did it working together. And it is possible at the federal level. And I'm anxious, obviously, to get there in January and start that process, because you know what? We have the hardest working district in the state of Indiana. We have unbelievable hardworking men and women, and they want jobs. And that's exactly what we want to deliver.
Now, you got a lot of freshmen going into the House of Representatives with you, Jackie, and is there any plans? I know it's still early, I understand that, but is there any plans to try and get the freshman representatives together to motivate and give some kind of a solid foundation that they have support there and not be absorbed by the machine that is the National Republican Party, which so many people are disenfranchised with right now?
Well, and again, I think you saw at the national level and in Indiana last night, people are fed up with these two parties, and they're sending people, into these seats that they believe will work across the aisle and actually get something accomplished. And I'll be there next week for an orientation, and my hope is to be able to connect with all the freshmen that are coming in. I don't know how many that is, Casey, and I don't know on the Republican Democratic side who that is or what number that is, but that's what we did in Indiana. We bonded as new people coming in, fresh faces, a fresh willingness, and understanding that the political parties of our country do not have the answers for this nation.
I think that has to be the case right now, because again, everybody says, okay, we want something different.
Exactly.
But they sent essentially the same political makeup,
right.
With some new people,
yeah.
and so I think.
But we have a story to tell out of the state of
Absolutely.
Indiana, and
Yeah.
my banner cry will be the story of Hoosiers, and I'm proud to be a Hoosier. I'm proud to be able to represent the story of what we did in this state together. And when you take a state that was in the mess that Indiana was in every statistical grid that was measurable, we were 49th and 50th just 6-7 years ago, and today we lead the nation in job creation. I'm proud of that. I'm proud to have supported it, and I'm proud to have supported it with folks across the aisle, because at the end of the day, the congressional and the senatorial delegation that represent Hoosiers, they are in those seats today because of Hoosiers saying, we want you to go fight for us and work for us, and we owe it to work as a delegation together, and we owe it to this state. And I think that we'll see different results in 2013.
Certainly hope you can convince people in Washington, D.C. of that, because, again, Indiana does have that track record. Of course, you have the experience in being a part of that movement. So hopefully they will be willing to listen, and I'm sure there's a lot of people here in St. Joseph County that are counting on that.
Absolutely. It's critical. This is a must-do situation, and there's no time to spare.
All right, reflect on this campaign. It's been a long one.
Wow,
obviously
this has been
a long night. I mean, some of the moments that you have. I know you had nothing but really positive things to say about your volunteers. And for those who don't know, in a campaign, it's the volunteers that really do the most of the work.
You better believe it, and we have thousands of them.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be sitting here this morning if we didn't have the best ground game, grassroots support in the district, and really in Indiana, second only to the governor's race, which is statewide. I'm grateful to our supporters. I'm grateful to our volunteers. We had people that hung with us last night until, I think it was 12:30, and waited for that announcement. And you know, they've become really like my extended family. You spend so much time with these people that you know, we do things that we've done things every day together for about 18 months. And one of the high points that I'll never forget as long as I live is the month of July in the state of Indiana, when obviously our farmers were in drought. And our parade walkers, every parade that we walked on the weekends was 110 degrees. And the pavement was enough to fry eggs on. And I remember walking those pavements, and literally some of our volunteers had shoes that melted in some of our parades. And I'm thinking to myself, wow, I mean, really, you know, this is a moment that we will never forget. But we've knocked on thousands of doors. Our crew, our Get Out the Vote effort called almost 400,000 people. And it's just all run by volunteers. And, you know, that's the commitment of Hoosiers. And that's why I take this seat so seriously. And I'm so honored this morning to be sitting here.
Now, everybody has been wanting to know this one thing, because I've been getting emails about it all night, and people were actually emailing me before, just because, you know, just assuming that you were winning this thing, and going, okay, so now is Jackie going to forget about us, forget about MNC, never come on the station again?
Are you kidding me?
So we need to make sure.
Right.
Do we do our little spot back now? Are we legally qualified to do our little thing again?
I believe we are, John, correct?
Can I request a new open that Jackie Blue never comes back?
That was not my idea.
I know.
Just so everybody
it just
knows.
lives in infamy.
No,
I hear it come on. I listen when I'm listening to like oldies music and I hear it come on. I immediately zap it off.
You zap it off.
I can't hear it.
Look, I can understand that. So, but people do want to know. I mean, you think we're going to be able to do a regular thing with you as a representative of this district? Come on MNC again, just like we used to do.
Well, I hope
Maybe
so.
not once a week. We understand that,
but you know what? I'm certainly saying that absolutely we can. I don't think there's any legal. I don't think there's legalities anymore as of this morning. But your listeners are just so key, and you know, your listeners are hardworking Hoosiers, and they're driving to work and they're catching the information, you know, and they're just so committed, you know, to making sure that our country stays on top. So I can't wait. So I hope we can work it out.
Two more requests. Mark wants the what is it? My friend went to Congress and all I got was this lousy T-shirt.
Yeah, I'd like one of those shirts when you come back on your first trip back.
One of those, and I want this T-shirt subsidized by the taxpayer. And as long as we get those, I think we're square. We're good to go. But Jackie, seriously, congratulations, hard-fought win.
Thanks
a lot
so
closer
much.
than people were expecting.
Thanks so much. It's really good to see you guys.
Best of
Thank
luck.
you very much.
Yes,
Absolutely. Very, very good friend,
Fantastic.
Jackie Walorski. Finally able to talk to her again on a regular basis.
Yeah.
And
we were kind of exiled.
It was, and you know, certainly, you know, we talked a couple of times, you know, privately, and you know, just but there's equal time things. There's FCC people were very frustrated, like, how come we don't have Jackie on anymore? And look, it becomes one of those things during elections. There's laws that kick in, and Brendan Mullen wasn't coming on the program with us, and you know, probably for obvious reasons, but certainly glad that you won. People know that I've been pulling for you for a long time since I got here.
Thanks for your help.
Congratulations once again. Best
well,
of luck.
and then let me tell you this: we will be unbelievably accessible in this area, and you know, if we can work it out, I would love to. I'd love to hear from your listeners.
Please read the bills.
You got that right.
That's all I asked.
If I have to call you, Casey, in the morning sometime and say, you know what,
need
Casey,
help
I'm going to
reading them,
cast
just
this
call.
vote, but I want you to know I read the bill. I'll summarize it for you.
I would appreciate that.
There you go. That helps.
The last thing
can't
I need, I don't need to be the only guy reading the healthcare bill again.
Exactly.
There you go.
Thanks so
Jackie
much.
Walorski, ladies and gentlemen, your newest member of Congress and House.